Are you a stock photographer? And have you ever asked yourself, why are my photos not selling? What's up, guys? This is Nicole Glass. So if you are a stock photographer, you have probably asked yourself why certain photos of yours don't sell. And a lot of times the answer is simple. Like I've mentioned in many of my videos, it is often difficult to make sales when you're photographing things that are in saturated categories. Things like blades of grass or pretty beaches or clouds in the sky. And that's because there are a lot of these types of photos on stock photography platforms already, and you're gonna have a lot of competition when you upload them. Like, for example, a photo of a beach. However, it is not impossible to sell these photos. There are ways that you can. And I'm not saying these types of photos are gonna make you a millionaire, but there are ways to increase the chances of having these types of common photos being downloaded, at least a few times. So if you've watched my videos before, you know that I like to analyze my data, especially the data provided on Shutterstock. Shutterstock is a stock photography platform where I have the largest portfolio. And on Shutterstock specifically, I have noticed that there are some very generic photos that I've taken that are really nothing spectacular and that are in saturated categories that still get downloaded. So of course, I say to myself, well, why? Why is this random beach getting downloads? And here's how you can find out why. So let's start by looking at this photo. This is a very, very generic photo of a colorful sunset at a beach. And there are plenty of other photos that look like this or that are even prettier than this one. However, this photo of mine does get downloaded. Why? Well, the answer lies within the keywords. When you look at your download information on Shutterstock, you can see which photos have been purchased and how many times. You can actually also see what keywords people are using to find and download those photos. In the case of this very generic beach photo, they're not searching for beach or sunset. People are searching for the very specific name of where that photo was taken. In this case, they're looking for Solomon Islands, which is a place in Maryland. And that's where I took that photo. Now, if you look at Solomon Islands on Shutterstock, you'll see that there are not a lot of other photos, which means that this is a category that is not very saturated. Therefore, this generic beach photo is getting downloaded simply based on its location and people searching for photos from that location, and not because it's a photo of a beach. Now let's look at another similar photo. This is another photo of a beach. And again, it looks pretty generic, and there's lots of other photos of beaches that are way prettier than this one. So why does this one get downloaded? Again, you can see the keywords that people are using to find this photo. They're not looking for photos of simply a beach. They're looking for photos of that exact location, that exact beach. And that's why that photo is being discovered and downloaded. Now let's go on to the next photo. Another photo related to a beach. This is a sign that literally says beach. But how are people finding this photo? They're actually not typing in beach sign to find this photo. They're finding it with the very, very specific location that this photo was taken in, which was Queen Anne's County, Maryland. That's how people are finding this photo, by looking up Queen Anne's County. And the next photo is another, beachy kind of photo. This is a photo of a bridge in the Dominican Republic. And if I had just keyworded this photo as like bridge and blue sky and ocean, I guarantee you it would have probably never been downloaded. But because I keyworded it with that very specific location, a location called Samana, it is getting discovered through that keyword. Next, let's move away from beaches and let's move into a different category, wildlife. This here is a very generic photo of an orangutan in a zoo. Really, it's nothing special. So how is this photo being found? Well, if you look at the keywords that people are typing in to find this photo, they're not finding it with the words orangutan. They're actually finding it with the words Tampa Lowry Park Zoo, which is the very specific zoo that this photo was taken in. Perhaps somebody wanted some photos that illustrate the concept of this zoo, and they're seeing what comes up when they type in the name of that zoo. Now, the next photo some of you might recognize. This is a photo of my toe. I've talked about this in a previous video, a video about the weirdest photo downloads I've ever gotten. So if you haven't seen that video, be sure to go and check that out. But anyways, how did people find this photo of my toe? They didn't just type in toe. Now, if you look at the downloads and you look at the keywords that people use to find this photo, you'll find that they use the keywords dorsal, callus, corn, and foot. They actually didn't use the word toe. If I had only keyworded this photo as, toe, nobody would have found that. Nobody would have downloaded that. But I used very specific scientific names that made it easy for someone to find the condition on my toe. So what does this tell you? A couple of things. It is possible to sell very generic looking photos if they are keyworded properly. And by that I mean they have unique keywords that might separate them from all those other generic photos. Rather than an orangutan, it's an orangutan in a very specific zoo. A zoo that somebody might be searching for. Or rather than just a beach at sunset, it's a beach at sunset in a town that not a lot of people have photographed, and somebody might be looking for that town, and then they find your beach photo. Or rather than just a picture of a toe, it's a picture of a toe with a condition that has some, scientific words attached to it, like dorsal or callus or whatever, that somebody might be looking for, maybe some medical journal. So that's how you can make your average photos be discovered on places like Shutterstock with the proper use of keywords that will make people find your photos. Now, I'm not saying that your basic beach photo is gonna make you a millionaire, but if somebody is looking for a specific place that you have photographed and you're keywording that photograph properly, you have a good chance of getting some downloads. So obviously sometimes if your photos are taken on private property and the name of that property is in the keywords, your photo might actually get a rejection saying that you need a property release. Recently somebody left a comment saying they photographed a waterfall somewhere and they put the name of the location where that waterfall was, and they got a rejection saying they needed a property release. So of course that can happen sometimes, and if that happens, there's two things you can do. You can upload that photo as an editorial image and keep those keywords in there, or you can upload it as a commercial image and remove all identifying information that will give away the location of that photo or in any way indicate that it was taken on private property. So overall, you need to ensure that you're using really, really good keywords for your photos that will help those photos get discovered. And even if they're not the most phenomenal photos out there, if they're keyworded properly and somebody is looking for that keyword and there's not a lot of competition with that keyword, you have a good chance of getting some photo downloads. And that's probably the only way, or one of the only ways, that you can compete in saturated categories. So right now, what you should do, if you are on Shutterstock, is go to your Shutterstock contributor panel, look at your downloads, look at your earnings, and see how are people finding the photos that are performing well? What keywords are they typing in to find those images? Shutterstock provides you with a lot of information, and if you analyze that information, it will give you a lot of insights into how users are using the platform, into how clients are finding the photos they need. And sometimes you'll be surprised what they're typing in to find your photos. It might be different than what you expect. So let me know in the comments if you see anything that surprises you when you're looking at, what people are downloading. I'm curious. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. That would mean a lot to me. And subscribe to my channel if you're new here. And if you're still watching and you want to watch another video, then I've got 2 other great videos up here somewhere around my head that you might enjoy. Until next time, take care.